Hi everyone, Janie here, and today I'm going to be making a shaker card using some fun techniques like a DIY shaker pocket, and inlaying, and paper saving techniques. I'm going to be using this Coca Rosa With Love photo frame die set that comes with 2 dies, and I think it's perfect for any occasion, but today I'm using it to make a birthday card. I've cut a piece of glitter paper from close to my heart to 4 1/4 inches by 5 1/2 inches, and a piece of pattern cardstock to 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches, and a piece of white cardstock to 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches. So as you can see, each one is 1/4 inch smaller than the previous one. So first I'm using that die to cut the center out of the glitter cardstock, making sure that it is perfectly centered so the next layer will cover it up. That happens to be one of my favorite paper saving techniques, and I'm saving all the pieces. And next I'm taking the piece from the center of that die cut and using that to die cut the hearts. Then using the frame die again, I'm cutting the center out of the pattern cardstock, and I'm not throwing any of these pieces away. And now I'm gluing the glitter cardstock to the front of my A2 size card base, and I'm going to set that aside while I work on this next part. I need to get the white cardstock aligned with the opening in the pattern cardstock so that I'll know where to stamp my image. I used washi tape to hold the pieces together and put them in my MISTI. And that adorable stamp set that I'm using is from Close to My Heart and was a stamp of the month last year, so I'm sorry, but it's no longer available. So I got the stamp lined up where I wanted it, and I put the lid down to pick the stamp up and then remove the glitter piece so that I don't accidentally get ink on that, and then stamped my image. And I also stamped Happy Birthday toward the top, and then I laid the glitter piece back in to make sure that I had gotten everything where I wanted it. And I colored the image using my Ohuhu colored pencils and used Salty Ocean Distress ink to softly blend around the images. Now it's time to make the shaker pocket, and I'm using these clear PVC binding sheets, but you can also use acetate or an acetate alternative such as Duralar. I cut the clear sheet to 4 3/4 inches by 6 inches because I need it to be 1 inch larger each direction than the cardstock that my image is on, and that's because I'm scoring it at 1/2 inch on each side. And once I fold all of the score lines up, it will be the perfect size to hold the cardstock with my image on it. Next I'm cutting the little squares out of the corners, and that's actually something that can be done later after the double-sided tape is on and when I miter the edges, but I prefer to do it now. Next I'm putting 1/2 inch double-sided tape along each side on the inside and just up to the score line. And this is what it'll look like. And then I'm going to miter the corners by cutting a little wedge off from each end. And now this is what it'll look like. And now I'm going to wipe down the inside with a fabric softener sheet to eliminate any static. And now I'm putting the cardstock with my image on it face down into the shaker pocket, and I'll be removing the protective layer of the double-sided tape and adding just a couple dots of my Beacon 3-in-1 glue for a little added hold, and then folding the edge over and adhering it to the back of the cardstock. I'm going to be repeating this on 3 sides, but leaving one side open so that I can add some shaker bits. Of course, you don't have to use the additional glue. That's just my preference. I'm using shaker bits from This Calls for Confetti and some sequins from Pretty Pink Posh. I'll be adding them from the end that I left open, and the reason that I'm using 2 different kinds of shaker bits is because I like the visual effect since they are so different from each other. And as usual, I always think I need to add more shaker bits when I really don't, but luckily this time isn't too bad. And now it's time to seal that into the shaker pocket, and there we go. I love making shakers this way. And now I get to finish putting it all together by gluing the top piece onto the shaker pocket, and then gluing the glitter die cut piece into place, which by the way is the inlay technique, and then gluing the finished shaker pocket to the front of the card. And I could have stopped there, but I wanted to add some of those hearts that I had cut out with the other die from this set, and I also had the leftover die cut piece from the pattern cardstock, and I thought, what a better way to use that than on the inside of the card, along with a few more of those glitter hearts. And for those of you that worry about making and mailing shaker cards, by using this shaker pocket technique, your shaker cards will easily fit into an envelope and practically lay flat for mailing. I hope that you liked my card and the techniques that I shared with you today, and I'll have a link below in the description box to the Coca Rosa With Love photo frame die set that I used today, as well as a link to Coca Rosa and a 25% off discount code should you decide to shop there. Thank you all so much for stopping by today, and happy crafting, everyone. Bye-bye.